that's probably going to work by the time that tips up a little bit. And we'll drag it off with the backhoe and then control it, take it in with the forklift. All right, let's get it unchained. All right, we are like 11 and a half feet to center there. We could go about a foot that way. I may not bother with it. About there. We want to be 11 feet out. Oh, that's perfect. One more. Good one. Still see the micro switch. Okay, I think it's supposed to rain down here. It's been raining, but it's supposed to get windy around noon and a good chance of rain about 1. So the goal today is to get this thing snapped out and plated. Probably won't do much snapping because it's pretty wet. Don't want to make a mess. We're gonna plate, build up the plate, and then we will cut our wall plates at the same time and get those all detailed. I have lumber coming tomorrow. Let's see, crane's all set up and right where I left it. What we got there? Oh, I don't know. But other than that, looks to be a nice day. We'll get after it. Alright, I know I got a door at 8'6", which is here, center line, and then 19 inches less for half the door, so that's 7 feet plus 1 inch. And then we go to the full, one more, and then right there, 10'1", the other side. Okay, that's all the plate anchored down or drilled. Go get a cup of coffee and bolt it down after that. Turned out to be a pretty nice day here. I had 56'6" 6 7/8 going that way, and this way 56'6" all stretches out 5/8, 1/8 off the square. I gotta grab my phone and see what it was supposed to do. I'm gonna see where we're at, but that's pretty good. Yeah, that really was close enough. I was looking for 578, excuse me, 678 and 13/16 inches, and I just was kind of bracketed around it, and it could just be a cut or the way that the tape hooked. So I'm good with that. Good enough to build on. I'll straighten the walls next. I can run a string and bump the green plate out to a string line to make sure everything's straight, because we know it's square. It'll move a little bit under those big plate washers, and then we'll get the next. Oh, we got to build it up. One more trip around. I got the 1/4 inch strips. We got to build it up. I'll show you. We've got these. This is kind of, it's not a brand new code, but it's been specified everywhere now, probably for the last 10 years. Sometimes you can work around it with the plywood if you got like a deck that's floor decking that's right up on the plate. But now we just, for this, I'll build it up with 1/4 inch rips, so that all I have to work around for the next plate up is just the bolt heads. And I can carve those out with the drill bit and then cut them off. I'll cut the bolt itself off flush with the nut, and then all I got to do is carve out for the nut. I'll show you that. Well, the rain showed up on time. It got a little windy, and then the rain blew in. That's okay. We got everything done here that I wanted to do pretty much. All the bolts are cut off. All these plates are now drilled out over the top of the bolts, so that's the bottom plate of the wall. And I got a few boards left for the morning to do some layout, and the rest of the wood should be showing up, so I'll clean up and start laying stuff out, and we'll keep it going. All right, good morning. We're still waiting on wood this morning. I started to run plates back here. There was some late addition changes, and I'm not going to build this wall all in one piece. That piece is lower, and then part of this piece is lower, and then part of this over here ends up 2 stories tall. That area in there, I've got a bunch of pipes. I'm splitting the wall right there so it goes up around them. I can leave that plywood off. It's a lot of stuff sticking up. So I'm just kind of finishing up the design on the changes as I work through it all. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a decent day down here. I know it's supposed to rain, but sure looking good right now. I'm using it to split pin. They've split that, and so it goes in and presses out into the wall. These are 3.5, so they go pretty deep. They take a bunch to get out. not here yet. I'm out of plate. We'll come up with something. I'll probably have a snack. Some new pencils too. The TJI takeoff called for 7/8 edge gold, and I swapped it out to 1 1/8 plywood, and they sent 1 1/8 edge gold. So I don't know if something happens, so I'll get that. I don't need it for a while anyway, so I've got plenty of time to swap it off. But he's going to take that back. And now I got plenty of material to frame this up, so we'll start in on that next. I'm just putting a hinge on so that bowl doesn't kick out when I stand it up. All right, that is all started there. I have to leave out the corners and the doubles and triples where there's intersecting walls, so some of those we'll put in after the wall's up because there's pipes in the way. It's a time of year when it just starts raining and you haven't settled into it yet, and so there's still a little bit of postponement and sort of trying to stay out of it. And we sort of skirt around it for a bit until everybody realizes again that it's not going to stop until May or something, and you just do it anyway. So, but right now we kind of work around it, jump in our truck if it rains for a little bit. It is a tough time of year to wear rain gear too, just because it's not cold yet. Doesn't matter. Even the best rain gear that we wear, you can't avoid overheating this time of year when it's raining. So you just got to sort of suffer with it for a while. So for the first part, we avoid it. Anyway, I'll be back after lunch. All right, every day about the same time we get this sea breeze down here, which is about an hour before I normally get it at home. It's been gusting pretty good. All right, this wall's all squared up. The bottom's straight. I added the bearing point there so that I can sheet out over that corner. And you got to kind of square these in two parts. You got to square the high part and the low part just to double check, because this sometimes can bend over the top of the lower wall. So that one was square and tacked down yesterday, and I ended up having to move this one a little bit to get it straight. Looks good. Start sheeting. All right, well, I still got the thing hooked to the crane. I'm gonna go ahead. This brace here is plumb, not that we won't straighten it later. I wanna plumb that corner while I got a hold of it. It's really close. Just gotta pop that off and back it up a little bit, and then I'll work on getting the strap off. I did forget my extension ladder this morning, but one of the benefits of using the long rigging up there is I can lower it down to reach where it's hooked into the crane and let go and leave the strap there for now, but we'll see what happens. Alright, so this wall weighs next to nothing, so I'm not worried about side pulling where it goes. I just set the crane over, drop the hook down to about where I want it to end up, pull it back because I got long rigging. It won't take anything to flip up. The tricky thing about this, this brace has to come off. This balloon wall here is, it's 10-foot ceiling, a 1-foot floor, and an 8-foot ceiling. So that's all in one. So it's 18, 19 feet and some. So I got to pull that brace, but I think it's super still right now. So I think all this stuff will hold it long enough till I can pop that off and slip the plywood behind it and then nail it all back up. So that's what I'll do next. All right, I'll unhook that strap, and I got to work around underneath that wall, but there's nothing really to brace it to that's simple, so I'll nail off the plywood there. I'm not super concerned for now until I get it tied in. So I got a little time. Like I said, it's pretty still right now. Okay, back to work. All right, I'm cheating a little bit there because I'm out of 2x6, but the 2x4 is wider than normal, and I'm using KD wood, or SD wood anyway, for the plates, so there's a little discrepancy between the top and lower plate there, so I'll get away with it. It's an inside wall too, so it doesn't really matter. All right, well, that's all the inside walls. We'll start putting the floor together next. Everything's staged out here for the next time I come down. Ready to go. I can reach it all with the crane as well. And I've got a couple brackets to work out for right here for the center of the floor. The floor is right across half the building going back. Big loft up there. Some of it gets walled in, some of it doesn't. And forklift just put away. Crane shut off. Trolley's parked right in the middle. Lines run up. Truck's packed. Time to go.